Women's game, we had a national champion crowned. LSU, Kim Mulkey, fantastic offensive performance from their entire team. But the story of that game, the headlines that have been made in the last 24 hours, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and the quote-unquote shit-talking back and forth. Yeah. We talked about it briefly before we clicked record here, but RC, what'd you make of this? What's happening? Who's in the wrong? Is anyone in the wrong?
The only people in the wrong are the ones that's making a big fuss about this. I think when you're athletically, when you're playing this game, trash talking, shit talking is part of the game. The players are used to it, and I think what happened is when you're playing, the great thing about sports is when you're playing sports, you don't see race. You're just playing. You don't care if your teammates white or black. It's like, hey, we're together, we're going to win. I think what happened is the casual fan is watching that and watched the white team and then watched this team and thought it was black and then started mischaracterizing everything that's going on. It's just shit talking. It's part of the sport. Get over it. Great performance by those women. Caitlin Clark is unbelievable talent. Next day, next page.
We just don't see that shit talking in the women's game very often. So I think that's where it came in on the biggest stage.
Right.
And Caitlin Clark talks shit.
Oh, she does all the time.
Right.
And she backs it up, and she backed it up that game with 30-piece. Like, what are we talking about?
Again, to me, it was more of we're not used to it. Right. We're not used to it. We saw it. People react. I thought the bigger thing, honestly, to me is Kim Mulkey. Like, I can't watch her. I can't watch her. No, it's ridiculous.
What, for the outfits or for everything else?
Everything. The whole deal.
The whole experience.
The whole experience. Again, we've talked about this with some of the men's coaches, too. Yeah. Tee her ass up. Tee her up.
I'll say this. I thought one of the incidents where everybody was talking, I thought it was the official that put his hand out toward her. I didn't think it was her instigating any contact there. So I thought I think he put his hands on her.
But she's out in the court. She's out of
But
control.
every coach does that. I'm not knocking it. If you want to do that.
Again, but these refs are intimidated.
They were so bad in that game, though. That game was bad. That's the last thing they needed to do was throw another technical off. But that performance by the officials.
They threw one out for Caitlin.
They did. They did.
Not exactly appropriate.
Yeah, that was tough.
It was hard to it's hard to speak looking back at the story of the game without mentioning the officiating.
It sucks that we're talking about this rather than, again, Reese and Clark going back and forth and a hell of a performance by LSU.
Great performance.
A hell of a performance.
Great performance.
Right. I feel obligated to ask, is there a difference just in the context of the moments Caitlin Clark has had her shit talking? Because you guys said it, she talks all game long.
Yeah, I've watched her Big Ten play.
Right.
Like I've watched Big Ten women's basketball this year. I saw her in person against UConn at PK 85, and man, she's unbelievable to watch.
It's constant.
She talks a lot. She
but
does.
Is there a difference between in the game versus after the game? Right? When the victory has been secured.
It's fair. It's all fair. You talk trash, you better win. I mean, I don't understand it. And the only people that complain about that to me are people that's never played sports. If you ever played
it after the game too on social media as well?
It's ongoing a little bit.
I mean, at this point, it's taking a life of its own.
You want to do it once, I'm fine. You want to put your finger up and, hey, I got a ring and you don't. Okay, I get it. That's fine. And then I think when it's over, take the high road then.
Not for the chip. For a game, I'm with you.
You won.
If I win the chip, I get bragging rights, shit talking, all. Okay, so that's like Rob. This is what we're gonna do. Yeah. So if UConn wins tonight, I'm gonna tolerate Rob shit tonight. When we wake up tomorrow, I don't have to hear it anymore. That's what we're saying.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Hell yeah.
Did I take retract that? Retract that. Right? I'm done. I'm good. I'll accept that.
All right, we got the rules.
We got it established.
Sign the dotted line, wrapped, delivered, perfect. All right.
Today's episode of the Field of 68 After Dark is presented by our partners over at Underdog Fantasy, the easiest place to play college basketball pick'em, where you can win real cash prizes simply by picking player stats in this weekend's Final Four games. In pick'em, all you do is pick whether a player will go higher or lower on Underdog's projected totals, whether it's points or rebounds or assists or all of them combined. If you're like me and you think Adama Sanogo is going to go nuts this weekend, pick higher on his points projection, pick higher on his rebounds projection, maybe throw in a lower on Matt Bradley's scoring totals, a higher on Isaiah Wong, whatever it is that you like. Put them all together, and if you hit them all, then you can win as much as 20 times your money on a single game. Underdog's slick mobile app is easy enough that dummies like Jeff Goodman have even figured out how to use it. So go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app and use the code FIELD, that's FIELD, to get a 100% deposit match up to $100.